The oldest doctrine. Hail to all the well-intentioned children of Freya. Through them the earth shall become holy. Learn and announce to the people, Waralda is the ancient of ancients, for he created all things. Waralda is all in all, for he is eternal and everlasting. Waralda is omnipresent, but invisible, and therefore is called a spirit. All that we can see of him are the created beings who come to life through him and go again, because from Waralda all things proceed and return to him. Waralda is the beginning and the end. Waralda is the only almighty being, because from him all other strengths come and returns to him. Therefore, he alone is the creator, and nothing exists without him. Waralda established eternal principles upon which the laws of creation were founded, and no good laws could stand on any other foundation. But although everything is derived from Waralda, the wickedness of men does not come from him. Wickedness comes from heaviness, carelessness, and stupidity. Therefore, they may well be injurious to men, but never to Waralda. Waralda is wisdom, and the laws that he has made are the books from which we learn. Nor is any wisdom to be found or gathered but in them. Men may see a great deal, but Waralda sees everything. Men can learn a great deal, but Waralda knows everything. Men can discover much, but to Waralda everything is open. Mankind are male and female, but Waralda created both. Mankind love and hate, but Waralda alone is just. Therefore, Waralda is good, and there is no good without him. In the progress of time, all creation alters and changes, but goodness alone is unalterable. And since Waralda is good, he cannot change. As he endures, he alone exists. Everything else is show. The second part of the oldest doctrine. Among Finda's people there are false teachers who, by their over-inventiveness, have become so wicked that they make themselves and their adherents believe that they are the best part of Waralda, that their spirit is the best part of Waralda's spirit, and that Waralda can only think by the help of their brains. That every creature is a part of Waralda's eternal being, that they have stolen from us, but their false reasoning and ungovernable pride have brought them on the road to ruin. If their spirit was Waralda's spirit, then Waralda would be very stupid, instead of being sensible and wise. For their spirit labors to create beautiful statues, which they afterwards worship. Finda's people are a wicked people, for although they presumptuously pretend among themselves that they are gods, they proclaim the unconsecrated false gods, and declare everywhere that these idols created the world and all that is therein. Greedy idols, full of envy and anger, who desire to be served and honored by the people, and who exact bloody sacrifices and rich offerings. But these presumptuous and false men, who call themselves God's servants and priests, receive and collect everything in the name of the idols that have no real existence, for their own benefit. They do all of this with an easy conscience, as they think themselves gods, not answerable to anyone. If there are some who discover their tricks and expose them, they hand them over to the executioners to be burnt for their calumnies, with solemn ceremonies in honor of the false gods, but really in order to save themselves, in order that our children may be protected against their idolatrous doctrine. The duty of the maidens is to make them learn by heart the following. Woralda existed before all things, and will endure after all things. Woralda is also eternal and everlasting. Therefore nothing exists without him. From Woralda's life sprang time and all living things, and his life takes away time and every other thing. These things must be made clear and manifest in every way, so that they can be made clear and comprehensible to all. When we have learned thus much, then we say further, in what regards our existence, we are a part of Woralda's everlasting being, like the existence of all created beings. But as regards our form, our qualities, our spirit, and all our thoughts, these do not belong to the being. All these are passing things, which appear through Woralda's life, and which appear through his wisdom, and not otherwise. But whereas his life is continually progressing, nothing can remain stationary. Therefore, all created things change their locality, their form, and their thoughts. So neither the earth nor any other created object can say, I am, but rather, I was. So no man can say, I think, but rather, I thought. The boy is greater and different from the child. He has different desires, inclinations, and thoughts. The man and father feels and thinks differently from the boy. The old man just the same. Everybody knows that. Besides, everybody knows and must acknowledge that he is now changing, that he changes every minute even while he says, I am, and that his thoughts change even while he says, I think. Instead, then, of imitating Finda's wicked people and saying, I am the best part of Woralda, and through us alone he can think, we proclaim everywhere where it is necessary. We, Freya's children, exist through Woralda's life. In the beginning, mean and base, but always advancing towards perfection without ever attaining the excellence of Woralda himself. Our spirit is not Woralda's spirit. It is merely a shadow of it. When Woralda created us, he lent us his wisdom, brains, organs, memory, and many other good qualities. By this means we are able to contemplate his creatures and his laws. By this means we can learn and can speak of them always, and only for our own benefit. If Woralda had given us no organs, we should have known nothing, and been more irrational than a piece of seaweed driven up and down by the ebb and flood.